Hello, it's Louisa from the London South East Children's University. I'm here today to tell you all about Children's University, what it means for you, how you can earn stamps, and how we reward you at the end of each year as well. By the time you turn 18, you'll have spent only 9% of your waking life in a classroom. Children's University is all about making the most of the other 91% of time. All of that time that you spend at lunchtime and outside of school, we want to reward you for taking part in lots of different activities to help you carry on with your learning outside of the normal classroom day. Your school is already a Children's University school, which means if you sign up, or if you're part of a school where everyone is involved in Children's University, you will get a passport that looks like this, and you'll also get access to your very own Children's University online account, and you'll be given a little login code. If you're not quite sure where your passport is, please don't worry. As long as you've got your login details, that's the most important thing. And the way that it works is that every time you do a different activity linked to Children's University, you will be given a timestamp. And all of those timestamps get added to your online account. And then at the end of the year, we have a very special celebration for you. So it's most important that you make sure that, yes, you can add it to your passport, but I won't ever come around looking for these or asking you to hand them in. What I will be doing is using Children's University Online to see who's ready to attend that very special celebration, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. My favourite time of the year is where we get to celebrate all the different activities that you've been doing with Children's University. And we do this by having a graduation ceremony at the end of each year. Now, normally when you graduate from university or from college, you can only graduate once. But what's fantastic with Children's University is that you can graduate at lots of different levels. And I'll come back to that a little bit later on. But I've been doing this job for 6 years now, and I've had children who've graduated every single year because they just keep on earning lots of stamps every year. Now, the way that it works is that every time you do an activity and get a timestamp, all of those timestamps all build up. And after the May half term every year, I click a button on Children's University Online and I see who is ready to graduate. Now, the deadline for making sure that you've added all of the stamps and all the activities for things outside of school is Friday after you come back from May half term. Okay, so for this school year, 2025-2026, the cut-off date will be Friday the 5th of June 2026. That is the date that you need to make sure that any activities you've done over the school year, outside of school, you have added to your account. If it happens in school, you don't need to worry, your teachers will get that sorted for you, and they also have the same deadline. But what will happen is after that deadline, I will click buttons on Children's University Online and I will get to see who's earned enough stamps to be able to graduate. Now, you can keep on adding stamps after this date, don't worry. It's just that they will count towards next year's graduation. Okay, so it's not that you'll lose any of those stamps, you can't add them, of course you can. But after Friday the 5th of June 2026, any stamps will count towards next year's graduation instead. So it is really important that you make sure that all those activities you do outside of school, you add them to your account, with your family's help maybe, because I won't be coming around asking for the passports for you to hand them in. It's not like that at all. And we will be using Children's University Online to see who's ready to graduate. So please do make sure that you keep an eye out on making sure that you've added all your stamps for those activities. Now, earlier on, I mentioned that you can graduate at lots of different levels. And as you can see on the grid that's on the screen now, you can. Okay, so it goes all the way from 30 hours all the way up to 1,000 hours. And the first level is the Bronze Award, and that is with 30 hours. So if you've never graduated before, you need to get at least 30 hours in order to graduate. Okay, so it could be that you've been doing Children's University for a couple of years, but you haven't quite got enough hours to graduate. Or it could be that you're starting Children's University. To be able to graduate, you've got to get to those 30 hours. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you, it's still important, okay? However, it might be that you're sitting there thinking, hang on, I've already graduated last year. When do I get to graduate again? Well, you just need to get enough hours to push you past the next level. So say, for example, you graduated last year with a Bronze Award and you had 35 hours. you would need to get enough hours to get to 65 hours. Okay, you need to get another 30 hours so that you could graduate at the silver award level. We don't graduate every year if you don't move up. You've got to make sure that you move through those levels. Okay, but you have plenty of time to be able to do that. But also remember, we don't start anew every year. So it's not that we take your hours back to zero. Absolutely not. You just keep on building them up every single year. So any stamps that you've got last year, you haven't lost them. They just keep on building up. So lots and lots of opportunities for you to be able to do that. So if you are thinking, oh crumbs, I've got 20 hours in my account, but I haven't graduated yet, that's fine. All you've got to do is get 10 hours and you can graduate this year instead. Okay. But as you can see in the photograph, it's a really lovely celebration. You get to wear a cap and gown, you get a certificate, you get a badge of graduation, and you may also get another little treat as well. But it's a really lovely way that we can celebrate you and say well done to you for taking part in all of these different activities. Now you might be thinking, okay, how do I earn all of these different timestamps for my passport? Well, let me tell you. What's fantastic about being part of a children's university school is that all of the extracurricular activities you do in school will also count towards your passport. Now, we can't give you stamps for going to your maths lesson or your English lesson and things like that. But actually, if you go to any lunchtime clubs, any after school clubs, if you go on any educational visits and school trips, even residentials, they all count towards children's university. And what's even better is that you don't actually need to worry about having them added to your account because your teachers will do that usually at the end of each half term. So do keep an eye on your account and check that those stamps have been added, but don't go and speak to your teacher and say, oh, they're missing until at least after the half term, because I want to make your teachers' lives as simple as possible. They've got lots to do. So I usually say do it at the end of each half term because it makes it a lot easier. But that's a really great thing about being part of a children's university school, is that you can have those activities added. So if your school do lunchtime or after school clubs, do sign up to them because they will count towards children's university as well. We also know that lots of you do activities outside of school with organisations, and these organisations I love to get involved with and have them being learning destinations. Now, a learning destination is an organisation that we have checked to make sure it's safe and secure and suitable for you to go to. And we have hundreds of these across Bexley, but also across the country, actually. And they're really fantastic organisations offering all sorts of activities for you. We work with lots of learning destinations across Bexley, and as you can see here, there's a lot of different activities that you can do. We've got martial arts, we've got musical theatre, we've got the libraries, we've got the leisure centres. There really is a really wide range of activities that you can do, and all of these places are learning destinations already. Now, I can't possibly share all of them with you right now in this assembly, but what I can do is say, with your parents and carers, have a look at my directory. I've got a learning destination directory on my Google Drive, and in there it shares every single learning destination that you can access that's local to us here in Bexley. What's really fantastic is that when you look at the scouting and the girl guiding in particular, all of the units across Bexley and all of the activities within there count towards Children's University. So whether it's Beavers, Cubs or Scouts, Rainbows, Brownies, Guides, all of those different units will count towards Children's University. But like I say, there's a huge list that we have that you may not realise you've already been doing these activities and going to these places, and maybe you haven't been adding the stamps to your passport. So please have a look and see, where have you been going, what activities have you been doing, and what could you add to your passport. Now, it may also be that actually you go to an activity that isn't on our list. If that's the case, all I need you to do is get your parent or carer to email me with an email address and the name of a person that I can contact, and I will happily see if they would like to be a learning destination. I can't promise it, but I promise to do my very best to help them become a learning destination so that you can start earning stamps by doing that too. There are also other ways that you can earn stamps for your passport. So just like going to lunchtime or after school clubs, going to learning destinations, there's also things that you can do at home in your own time. And one of those things are my challenges. Now, I've been setting Children's University challenges for the past 4 or 5 years. So there's a huge amount of challenges that you can do. And all of them are on my Google Drive. Now, these challenges cover all kinds of topics as well. So when it's Harry Potter Day, there's a Harry Potter challenge. We've got challenges coming up soon that link to events that are happening. Honestly, there's such a wide range of different activities you can do. And it doesn't matter when I set them. If you want to do a Christmas challenge in the middle of the summer holidays, that's absolutely fine. You can do them whenever is best for you. But all you have to do when you've done a challenge is get your parent or carer to drop me an email with a photograph of your work and I will send you the stamp code. But again, have a look at that Google Drive and see if there's any activities that you'd like to do. That's also particularly handy if it's maybe a bit of a rainy day and you wanted to stay at home but you want to do something. Have a look at the challenges and see which ones you might want to do. As well as the challenges, which I forgot to mention are completely free for you to do, we also have a virtual club that I run. Now, I would really love to be able to come into all of the schools and run a club that's linked to Children's University. I'd love to. But unfortunately, I can't stretch myself quite that thin because we've got 17 schools, 3,500 children taking part in Bexley alone. So I can't quite do that. So instead, I run a virtual club. And the way that it works is that every half term is a different topic or a different theme. And all the activities are simply emailed out to your parents and carers on a Monday morning. You can again do them whenever is best for you. So some children like to do them each week. Some children wait for the school holidays and then they do a lot of the challenges. It's completely up to you. It's completely free. And all you have to do is ask your parent or carer to fill out a very simple Google form. That way that I've got their email addresses. So do have a look and see if that's something you'd like to do as well. It feels like the list is never ending, but we like to offer as many different ways that you can earn stamps as possible. So we also organise workshops with different organisations. So in the photographs below, you can see that we work with the London Fire Brigade and we've offered lots and lots of workshops with them and we'll carry on doing that. We also work with the Bexley Waste and Recycling team, the team who come out into your schools as well. And we've had puppet workshops, making your own beeswax wraps. We've done cookery things. There's all sorts of things that you can come along and do with your family. So do keep an eye out for those activities. I've also recently started working with the Apple Store in Bluewater. So again, you can come along, learn how to do all sorts of things on your iPad or your phones. And I know that I've learned lots from doing those activities as well. But alongside workshops that are usually exclusive to Children's University children, we also do events. I work very closely with a fantastic company called CC Events, and I will often be at their events that they have running, whether that's at Danson Park, whether that's in Lesness Abbey, and I usually have a stall and you can come along and do a little activity with me and that will earn you stamps for your passport as well. Now, we have actually got a family fun day coming up on Sunday, the 13th of July. We're going to be at Lesness Abbey and I would love to see you there. We're going to have some stalls that have got from our learning destinations so you can find out what they've been offering. And it's also the farmers market, so it'll be a lovely place to come along with your family and see what's going on. So it'd be great to see you there. So as you can see, there's quite a lot going on with Children's University and lots of different ways that you can earn stamps for your passport. But alongside the graduation ceremony at the end of the year, you might be thinking, okay, but what else do I get out of this? And I want to say that one of my favourite things about doing this job is hearing such lovely things from children, parents, teachers about how taking part in Children's University has really helped them. I would really encourage you to take a little step out of your comfort zone and try something new, because you're not going to love everything that you try, but if you haven't tried, then you're not going to know. And it was really lovely. I recently got an email from a parent who said, oh, my child went bouldering for the first time. They'd never done it before. They weren't sure if they were going to like it, but they absolutely loved it, and they're going to carry on with that activity. Now, I love getting those emails, but I also love it when children say to me, Louise, I tried something new. I don't really think it was for me, but at least I gave it a go. Because yes, absolutely, try new things. There's so much going on in this big wide world of ours that actually, who knows what you might fall in love with. I really love seeing how much fun children have by doing activities with Children's University. That's something I see all the time, particularly in those workshops, which is really lovely. But try new activities. It does help children to take those steps out of your comfort zone, try new things. But whilst you're doing all these different things, you may not always realise it, but you're actually developing really important skills. Now, I know that your schools do their most amazing job of helping you with these as well. And I'm not there to take their place at all. I'm here to help support it even more. But the skills that you have with teamwork, with creativity, with listening and staying positive, these are all things that Children's University helps you to develop as well. And I really love seeing the impact that this has in helping to grow confidence in children. And I've had so many children who've taken those steps out their comfort zone, tried something new and realised, oh, I can do this. And it's really helped to grow their confidence, which is just really wonderful to hear. But also, you know, having that pride in yourself by coming to a graduation and being celebrated for those achievements is wonderful. But also knowing actually what's on your doorstep, because wherever you are in Bexley, there is so much going on. And it's lovely that I'm able to sort of share with you and your families and your schools all the different opportunities that are out there for you as well. So that's what Children's University is all about. I know that's a lot of information, but I hope it's been really helpful to let you know what Children's University is, how you are a part of it, and how you can really engage with lots and lots of different types of learning. What I'd really encourage you to do is have a look at that learning destination directory with your parents and carers, because it could be that you've actually been doing activities there and you hadn't realised it. If that's the case, make sure you get those stamp codes and add them to your account by Friday the 6th of June. And that way they will count towards this year's graduation. Don't worry, if you add them after that, they will still count, but they'll count towards next year's graduation. So 2026, my goodness, I can't believe we're already talking about 2026, that's crazy. But do have a look and see what activities either do you do or would you like to give a try to. Make sure you get those stamp codes and add them to your online account. That's kind of the most important part, because like I say, with your passport, if you've lost it, that's not a problem, but you do need to make sure that you add them to your online account so that I will see what amazing things you've been doing. Remember, earn at least 30 hours for your first graduation, or let's see if we can get some children even further in their graduation levels. But I really hope to see you there. The graduations will be at the beginning of July, and if you've earned enough hours, your teachers will be sending out letters to your parents and carers at the beginning of June to let them know. But I really hope to see you there. And if you have any questions about Children's University, you're very welcome to ask your teachers or get your parents or carers to email me. I'm more than happy to help answer any questions that you may have. And then finally, this information is kind of more for your parents really, but here are all of my social media handles and email addresses and things like that. So if you do have any questions, please do get your parents or carers to ask, and ask parents and carers again to follow me on social media so that I can share with them all the different activities that are going on. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'm so thrilled that you're part of Children's University, and I really hope to see you at some of the workshops or the events, but also the graduation as well. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.